Hello and welcome to another bonus episode of Hockey Inside Out. Now we got to talk about Alex Newhook. He has a team worst -8. He hasn't scored since the first week of the season. How concerned are you about his play? Stu, let's get your thoughts first.
Yeah, I think we're seeing why Alex Newhook didn't get a ton of ice time in Colorado. He's 22 years old and he's still sort of figuring, even though he's been in the NHL for a few years, he's still sort of figuring everything out. He's playing a much larger role now. More ice time, more responsibilities. 3 goals in his first 3 games, on pace to score 82 goals. And then, the next 9 games, no goals. And, when they moved him to center, we saw that he's not really ready to play center in the NHL. He's much better as a wing. I think that set him back a little bit. That was out of necessity after the injury to Kirby Dach. So there is some reason for concern, but he's 22 years old. And, when Kent Hughes got him in that trade, he saw the potential. He figured he was further ahead in his development than the player they would have drafted late in the first round for one of the picks they gave up, which is true. So it's growing pains still a little bit with him. So a little bit concerned, but I think we're seeing why he didn't have a more prominent role on a real veteran Colorado team that was looking to win the Stanley Cup.
I mean, look at he's trying to find his game. That being said, we all know that line combinations are huge as far as chemistry and complement each other. And right now, he doesn't seem to be getting it done with where he's playing. And I'm quite sure that years ago, there's a lot of discussions in the coaches' room. Okay, how do we find a way to get this guy back to where we'd like to see him? And it's an ongoing discussion, and I'm sure that there's going to be some moves made to try and accommodate him, to get him back and get him, contributing the way he was contributing before. But right now, the kid is struggling. As Stu said, 22 years old, normal type of hiccups, if you will, that he's going to have to deal with. But we've seen the type of things that he does when he is playing, with his speed and his ability to back the opposition off. Not happening right now. So we will see him probably have some discussions about what he needs to do to get his game back, and he'll get it going again.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Alex Newhook. I think if anything, we've answered a question: is he a center or a winger? Yeah. And he's a winger. So I think we've got that out of the way. Now they can try to figure out a better position for him to be put in to have success. I think when you watch him specifically, there's a lot of good things. The pace that he plays with is great. I think he's got a lot of skill. He's got a pretty good net drive for a smaller guy. Uses his teammates pretty well in the offensive zone, pretty decent passer as well. So I think there's lots to be untapped. There's untapped potential there with Alex Newhook. But again, I don't know if the line that he's on right now is the best suited for him. Christian Dvorak coming back, obviously he scored against Tampa Bay. That's good. Hopefully it shakes some of the rust off, but he's had a rough comeback here. It's been very, very rusty, and Josh Anderson's struggling as well. So he's being put with players who are also struggling, which kind of compounds the struggle, right? And Anderson specifically is a guy who he scores his 20 goals, but he does it in a way that doesn't really use his teammates very well. He just kind of puts his head down and does his thing. Similar to Paul Byron when Byron was here, they get their goals, but their lines are usually not that great because they're almost individual players. They get what they get on rush plays, broken plays, breakaways, that kind of stuff. And guys who thrive on the cycle don't really work with those kinds of players. So it's one of those things where I look at that line and I think Newhook is the only guy who's going to be here in a couple of years. His line mates are not here. So I'd like to see if they move Slavkovsky off the top line with Monahan and Gallagher. If Pearson doesn't work out really quick, I'd try Newhook up there. It looked all right in preseason. Not that means anything, but give him a shot to play with some more skilled players that play closer to his game. And that would be interesting. But overall, I'm not worried about him.
No, he's got the speed, obviously, but he's also got a really strong work ethic. I mean, he works really hard out there. And I was asking him about it after a recent practice. And he said his parents, when he was a kid, they didn't tell him, they didn't care how many goals he scored or how many assists they got. His dad was always telling him, just make sure you're the hardest working player on the ice tonight. And that was the advice he got. And the work ethic's there. So if you've got speed and you're working hard, things usually go well for you eventually.
All right, well, let us know. Are you concerned about Alex Newhook? Leave those thoughts in the comments section below, and make sure to check out Hockey Inside Out to see our full episode.